Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to explore what is a modules or functions and how can actually use them. Modules or function actually in Python is actually called um, functions, but some other programming language probably they call that modules. It's a little more generic term, actually how to use them. And they are actually functions help us break our program into smaller and modular chunks. As a program grows larger and larger, functions make it more organized and manageable. Furthermore, it avoids repetition and makes your code reusable. And let me explain you what I'm talking about that. So let's actually create our function program. As you can see, I'm already in my week 3 folder. And I will simply to print let's say hello there. I will save name equal input. What is your name? And let's say actually print nice to meet you. Name. Something as simple that we already saw. Let me just okay. Sorry for this, it's something that was missing in my environment. Sorry there, let me just clear this. So this is just a simple application. We already saw how it actually works. Let's try to execute it. Python 3 functions. Hello there, what is your name? Rodolfo. Nice to meet you, Rodolfo. Perfect. Something as simple as this. And let's say that I want to ask for the same twice. The old way, pretty much is copy and pasting. If I do that, I know that doesn't make sense, but we want to do that, something like okay. But we enter to the section where we are repeating ourselves. We need to remember, and something that I always try to explain is we need to be dry. What mean? Don't repeat yourself. If you're repeating code, you're pasting, copy and pasting code, probably there's a better way to actually handle. And the modules or function is one way of doing that. So how can we actually convert these 3 lines in a function? Well, in Python it's really simple. Function starts with the definition of a specific function, and a function needs to have parentheses. So we need to define a function or a class or something. In this case, we're going to define, let's call it grid, and define it like this. Then we need to start with defining the element, the name, and then the parameters, always in parentheses. When we don't have parameters to send, we send it empty. When we have something, we list the list of parameters inside. But let's keep it like that for now. And always after definition, we need to start with the column. After that, anything that is after the function or is going to be inside this function need to be indented. What does mean? Need to be separated by a tab or space, it doesn't matter, but need to be consistent according to all the lines. That means that this definition will wrap all these 3 lines at this function. Let's save it. And let me actually execute it again. What do you think will happen? It will not happen anything. Why? Because we are not calling the function to be executed. In order to call the function, starting in the first line, we need to define again the name in order to call it. That way we just define it here and then we just call it to be executed. If we do it again, we have it like this. And when I say that you can actually repeat it several times, you just repeat the name of the function to be executed again. So it is going to be the first time, and it is going to be the second time. We just call them the same function over and over, and it's a simpler way to actually how to have it. But that's not the only way to use a function. Let's actually have another kind of example, and let's do code variables net function. Let's see what happened here. Let's actually have a variable. Let's say class equal, we cannot use class. Let's actually use name equal .305, and let's pretty much copy this here, and let's print name, let's grid, and let's print name again. Let's see what will happen, and we will talk about the scopes. So if we execute this, we're declaring a variable name equal to CATP3305. Then we have a function definition that uses variable name for an input, and then we are printing that variable here. And then, but that is inside the function itself. The execution of the code is going to print our name, then make the grid, and print the name again. As you can see, but the first thing it did was the line number 10, printing the name equal CTP. Then execute the function. So the execution right now, or the course of school, we could say, is right now here in line number 6. With waiting for input, what is my name? I will put my name in there. I hit enter, then execute the line number 7, printing nice to meet you with the name, and then get out of the function, execute line 12, and print name again. But because we are outside the scope of the function, name here is equal CTP3305. So this way, we are actually show you how variables works. When you have variables outside of functions, have different scopes, and inside the function you can actually not use that particular variable. Let's say that you actually want to use that variable. There is one way, and we need to call the super element. When we call the super, is the global actually. Global name. We are telling our function that name is a global variable, or it came from his parent element, and it can access and make changes to that. If we do it again, you can see that the first time it is the declaration that we have in the first line. The second time is inside my grid function, and the third time that we are outside the function, we can actually saw that the name actually changed because we specify with the global. So something really important. Inside a function, if you want to use a global variable, you need to use actually the global definition of that particular variable. If not, it will treat it as a local variable by itself. One of the cool things about the function is actually you can send parameters to arguments. So let's actually do another one. Arguments.py, and let's create a really simple function we're going to do a sum. Let's do sum number 1, number 2. And we're going to say that pretty much sum is we can say actually something related total, yeah, it's better, equal to number 1 plus number 2, and this needs to be number 1 is the way that we specify it here, and then we'll show you this in a minute. And we need just to print the total. So we have a function here that it does is receiving two different numbers, adding those numbers, and printing a total. That's it. So we can actually do a sum 1, 2, and we execute that. And we have the total 3 printed. Something as simple. If we have another one, we go to 10, 40. We have 3 and 50 printed. And we can call it and send different arguments. Of course, if we send something that is not recognizable, something like this, because we are sending 2 strings, we just concatenated the string. The really good thing is about that is we are sending the same type of variable. What it doesn't work is when we're sending something like this with the actual number, and it fails. So you can, when you send the strings with the plus, you pretty much concatenated those strings in one line, as you can see here. But when you're sending 2 different types, you cannot do it. So this could be just an interesting way to actually how to send different arguments. As you can see, we are not specifying the type of arguments that we need to be sending, because Python doesn't work like that. Now, there's something important. This number 1 here is treated as a string, because we're putting in single quote. We can put in double quotes too, and still treat it as a string. In order to be treated as a number, it doesn't need to have single or double quotes in there, as you can see right now. So if you hover over your mouse, you will see that this number is a type of string. If you hover over here, you will see that this number is type of integer. Different variables and different types. As this actually how the argument can actually be passed and be working. And you can have different type of functions, make a function call another function. And I like to call that inception. It doesn't mean actually like that, but let's make some example. Let's do inception.py, and let's copy things that we already have. We have the definition of sum. Perfect. Let's have something really similar of a rest. We're going to do the rest into different number. And let's do something better here. Let's do the sum is total, the rest is this other total. Let's do another one, do calculations, and it will take those 2 numbers. And this, the only thing they're going to do is call the sum with those numbers. And call the rest. Something really simple like that. And let me change this sum to add. Okay. And then we just two different variables. Please provide me with a number. Input. Please provide me with another number, another one, and of course this needs to be casted as integer. And then we can run the calculations of number 1 and number 2. So what will happen here? The execution will happen this way. We're going to have asking them provide the first number, then provide the second number, and call the calculation function. The calculation function by itself will call the add function with printing the sum, and then we'll call the rest function, printing the rest. And then we can actually just go like a goodbye. Now to see what is going to be the flow or the program. Let's do Python 3 inception to execute. So let's give the first number going to be a 3, the second one going to be 1, the sum is 4, the rest is 2. Bye. You can see you can call a function over a function. So this way you can actually have a separation of different modules onto HAM. Let's say that I want the printing to be a little more reflective. Let's have another definition, and let's call it decorate, and we will send a text, and this text is going to be need to print asterisk by, I don't know, let's say 20 times. And then we print the text, and then we print again this. I know that I'm entering here a little more in arithmetic, and I will explain that probably next week, but let me just show you something really quick. And after having that, we can say probably this. Instead of printing, let's actually have my text declared like that, plus let me cast it as a string, and we send the text. Yeah, something like that. Let's do the same here. Text is going to be equal, we must do this, but we are going to concatenate. We know that plus in between two strings concatenate that, so we just need to cast my total as a string, so convert it from number to string, the same way that we do with casting a string to number. And let's do that. Let's see what actually happened. And just in this case, let me just print a new line. Let's call it, let's put 5 and 3. As you can see, the sum is 8, it's been decorated with those stars, and the rest is 2, decorated with those stars, because I was missing a space over here. Try 3, there you go. So that way we can have functions calling other functions, And here actually we reuse one specific one that do some kind of silly decoration on the particular text. So I hope that you like it. Happy coding, everybody.